know you talked about poly time.
It don't exist in the rest of the world, but it exists in the Polynesian culture. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And it's toxic. And it's one of those things that like we lean on as a crutch and a handicap. Like we'll laugh it off, like, oh, it's all good, poly time, right? Nah, bud, hell no. My time's important too, bro. You know, but I don't know. Like to me, it's the sense of urgency thing. You know, there's no will and no want to even be there to get shit done, and it also turns into a disrespect. Now you can't show up. It shows that you don't respect another man's time. You know what I mean, or somebody else's time that they're trying to provide for you. You know, like for example, I'm in a football program, and I take care of the babies, dude. I take care of the 8-year-old kids, and I love taking care of the 8-year-old kids. I don't want to talk to the 10, 12, or 14-year-old kids because them niggas talk back, man. Them motherfuckers, they got roast sessions and stuff. They be on the game, so they got ammunition. I ain't ready for all that. You know what I mean? I'm inside. So when I say like I know that I rock with the 8-year-old kids, I know these 8-year-old kids ain't riding their bike to practice. I know these 8-year-old kids ain't coming to practice on their own. They got to rely on mom and dad. Now it takes 11 positions to do one job, and I need a minimum of 15 just to even strap kids up so we can have a real game. And then I got people that will skip out practice all week but make it to a game that's 2 hours away and then be like, hey, yo, what the hell? Like, you gonna play my son, right? What? Bro, no. Right, like that's like a sense of entitlement. Or like I'll have somebody that comes to practice at like 6:30 and then send me a text message at like 6:25. Hey, we're on our way. We got stuck in traffic. No, you didn't. You ain't not get stuck in traffic, but you around the corner, you barely left the house type shit. Like, you know, and I know exactly. I ended up being able to decode some of these like bullshit ass text messages right around the corner. Nigga just left.
You know what right around the corner means?
No, just left the house.
Yeah, just left the house. I've done that before.
Yeah,
I'll be accountable.
I'm
gonna be accountable. Like, I've done that before.
Yeah, but it's something that we get labeled with, and it's something that we ended up like holding the burden of, and it's one of the things that we never correct down the line. You know, and we hand that shit off to our next generation. Now our next generation, they're cursed with that shit where they're not going to show up on time. They don't hold themselves accountable. There's no urgency in their system. So like what's going to go on after that? You want to talk about the decline of some culture? That's like that will be one of the bases of the decline of the culture, because now us knowing about the poly time and then now it being on a podcast and being completely public and everything, now everybody knows about that shit. Shit's out the bag. I mean, everybody already knew about it in the beginning, but now if they see 4 U's, 3 T's, and a couple V's in your name, I'd be like, man, I don't even want to fucking deal with this guy. I bet you he don't show up.
Late.
Yeah, nigga late.
Like,
I straight up. So
I hate it when people when I ask people why are you late, and they use poly time like that's a justifiable reason. It's poly time. The fuck?
Yeah, I'm early.
Right. Like, yeah,
you're late.
Just say why you're gonna be late. You know, you could say
that's that pride. Don't want to get caught up with a lie too.
the 3 hour late, right? That was poly time. What the?
Yeah.
My issue with the poly time, and I've discussed this with Jordan. It's the reconditioning negative habits that doesn't help them when they go to the professional setting, right? So the thing is, people, Polynesians, especially the young Polynesians, they get so accustomed to a poly time, so they don't value being on time, being punctuality, right? And then when they go in the real world, when they finally grow the fuck up and they go in the real world, they had to get a job or go for a job interview. These guys who still all women, because we're both go through the poly time, they're still late. Because I used to before I did podcasting, I was a sales manager in San Jose for an energy company. So sometimes I would try to hire Pacific Islanders, and there were literally, I promise you, there were every single one was late, but one, right? But one late. And the sad thing is, because they knew I was Pacific Islander, so they thought that I would understand being late. Because you understand, right? Poly time, right? Which blew my mind, right? I was like, this is a job interview. This is going to determine whether I hire you or not, right? Poly time, you do understand there's other candidates.
Did they look distraught when you
they look like I'm talking some foreign language to them, like trying to explain something that's they've never thought about before. So it doesn't like that's my issue with poly time. Like you said, it does not exist. It's either you're on time or you're not, right? And the thing is, when you go in the real world, You have to be on time. There are things called deadlines, the things that you have to submit, depending on what your job is. There's nothing after the deadline. So I just think that it doesn't produce good, strong habits, especially when it comes to the workplace and going to the real world. Because the real world, you have to be on time. There's deadlines you have to fulfill. There's commitments you have to fulfill. And also, when you deal with a certain caliber of people, especially people who are very successful, people who are successful, they value their time. So I take it as a form of disrespect. When I plan something with someone and you tell me I'm going to be on time, so that's a commitment that you made to me, and you don't follow through unless there's somebody died in your family, or maybe somebody, you crashed your plane, didn't you weren't able to get on your flight, the pilot did, like some crazy reason. But for me, it's like for being late, that's just for me is that you don't value my time. Because if you really value my time, then you would show up. Because when I make commitments to somebody, and I tell somebody I want to be there at 2:00, I value their time because I know they're going to be there. So I'm gonna then make sure I'm gonna be on time because I value your time, and hopefully you value mine. We both on time. But it's really depending on the people you're gonna meet, especially when you go to a higher level. People really care about their time, and if you have this habit of always being late and never making things on time, then people are honestly gonna have that reputation of you don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
you don't care about my time. You're living in your own world. You don't even think about me. So you gotta have that mentality, man. That's why I don't like part time because it's that behavior doesn't produce good. It's not healthy. It doesn't give you any advantages, especially when you go to the real world.
yeah. And if I could just say something about that too, like if I knew that another Polynesian was holding an event just specifically for me or something like that, where I needed to professionally be available for blood, I would make sure I'm early because I know that that's a poly that's putting his name out for another poly.
Yeah, exactly.
And if I come out here and prove this the stereotype correct, it's just going to justify my own people to close the door for the next opportunity.
And you
for
make
the next
him look
Polynesian.
bad. You make him look bad.
I make him look bad. I drag his name down. He's not going to want to, or his person and his peers aren't going to want to deal with other Polynesians because he already knows.
Yeah.
And then now you don't end up looking for the favor, and that's when it goes out. Like I feel like in the Polynesian community and stuff, there's a divide between a handoff and a handout.
Yeah.
Are you going to prepare yourself to get the handoff, or are you sitting there waiting on your ass to get the handout?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and part of that shit is being on time, respecting another man's time, coming out there and being committed, communicating, even if you are going to be a tardy or something like that. Like
that goes a long way.
Exactly. And
that lets me know you care because you're communicating to me.
Exactly. Like, so being more attentive to that type of shit, that it might be Palangi or whatever, like how our culture may look at it, but
no,
it's only our culture that looks at it like that.
No, it's called the real world. It's called being an adult.
Exactly.
Yeah, you should be on time, which sorry I was late today, but
No, you probably time on time.
I mean, I literally I work down the street, so I kind of have to like venture myself here, which is, I mean, because I get off at 5, but then sometimes I have to have my management team and all that other stuff.
So this conversation hit you?
No. I mean,
triggered.
I know. I get it because I think being on time is a real thing. It's a real thing, and I think you should really be on time.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
The crazy thing is some Palangi dude came and made this up, and we actually made it like a thing. All right.
Yeah.
If you look at LA time, like if you go on vacation, everything is like always available. Whether it's a salad bar, go get some coffee, I could just chill on the beach. Right. And some dude just walking by, island time. I'm gonna go tell my dad.
Right.
You know what boils my blood is they'll be late for me for Pacific Islanders, but when they go to a non-Pacific Islander, they'll be on time, which is crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what's crazy, and that's what's disrespectful.
Never late for a flight.
So when it's for Palangis for a different culture of a different race, you're on time. But what's wrong? Our community for all
the niggas is early.
Early.
You know what I'm saying?
Early. 10, 20, 30 minutes early. But when it's for our people, you're gonna be 2-3 hours late.